welcome to testing times. Well, we've actually been testing around some corners and the car's amazing. But we had to improve a few things. So I've actually been back on the dyno as well. And honestly, this car is just getting better and better. So grab yourself some popcorn, watch this video, and we're gonna give you everything. Data, in-car, out-car, and stuff. So yeah, please like and subscribe. If you haven't already watched the other videos, go back and watch them. Well, we had a first test, and from the previous test, the car was a bit too tall geared. So we thought, yeah, book a venue, and it's really hard to get a venue that's not so busy at the moment in England. And also get the weather break, because you know it's not renowned for its best weather in England, contrary to belief. And anyhow, I was like, right, let's change the ratios in the transmission, because we need to make shorter ratios in it. And pulling the ratios off the actual gearbox shafts, the actual lay shaft come out the gearbox. So all the gears dropped down, all the shims fell out, and all the gears are in the bottom of the transmission. So, so we had to take the whole gearbox out, take it down to SGS transmissions, and then he got with it and he sort of rebuilt the transmission, and then we got the gearbox back in and we went testing. And anyhow, obviously our first test was cancelled, but we ended up getting back to Brighton Park for the first test. And honestly, I can't thank the guys at Brighton Park enough, because they got us in at, you know, sort of no time. There was actually nobody there, so it was like an exclusive day just for us. And honestly, the car's absolutely amazing. I cannot believe how much fun it is to drive this thing. It's being such a cold day, it was really hard to get temperature up into the tyres. And I think I've always, well, you always do, don't you? You always go back at a benchmark of your old race car. And the old race car, Ray, was like that, a pretty high standard, you know, because that's had like a good sort of 4 or 5 years development now on it. And we're actually a little bit slower than the old car at the moment, but we're only running low power, and we're only, you know, it's only early days, it's only first day out testing and stuff. So I was surprised at how good the car handles. I can't believe how much better it is with the engine in the center of the car. Just the way it changes direction, the way it brakes, you know, the new Alcon brakes that Alcon hooked us up with are just absolutely phenomenal. So it works really well, and the and the ABS system's working well, and like, you know, it was all, the whole day was just spent playing around with suspension and dampers. You know, we sort of play around with preload, and we play around with bump, rebound, and then also the car was a bit bouncy off curbs, and so we've got a blow-off adjustment on the dampers as well, so we soften that off as well, and like the car was just responding to each sort of change every time it sort of went. So yeah, I was super happy. So, and then overlaying the data with Ray, the only bits where the car was lacking was power, and so that's fine. And the main reason for that is we're just running the car on wastegate pressure. So we've got like 1 bar of boost down low, and then that sort of goes up to 1.4 bar, 1.45 bar at the top end, and that's how we get the 725 horsepower at the moment with the top end, because that's, you know, sort of similar to what the turbo's rated to. And so I was like, well, we need to make more power. So we rang VRS. Well, VRS was with us, isn't it? So at the test, and so we booked the dyno again, and we went back down to the dyno. So this time the objective was put some boost into it and just sort of see what it does. And my God, the car just come alive. So we spent the day mapping different boost levels so that we could run the car at different power levels if we can. So we're back from the dyno, and we've had a really good, successful test, to be fair. So the peak power is very similar from last time, because we're running quite similar boost at the top end. But at 6,000 RPM, we're 250 horsepower up and 175 foot-pounds. And at 6,500, we're 200 horsepower up and 165 foot-pounds as well. So it's a phenomenal change from like where the actual engine spends most of its power band. So we're really looking forward to, you know, looking at what the lap time's going to be once that, you know, we get on track with it. So that fattening up of the power curve, and that's kind of where you spend most of your time when you race. You know, everyone just looks at the pub figure, the max number, the max torque, and then that's it. But it's the line under the line is where you got to race with, and you know, you probably spend, you know, sort of 30 to 40% of your lap on that sort of RPM band, you know, from sort of 6.5 to 7.5, you know. So I think when we go back with Grumpy to test again with that sort of power level extra down low, I think 100% the lap time is going to be there, and the car will be 100% faster than Ray. And it's such a good feeling, because it's only our first ever time that we've had the car on corners, so you know, it's really, really promising. So we also got a lot of other data as well. So there's some areas where we need to improve with temperature management on the car. We've got slightly high air temperatures after near the end of a run, which is not good for maintaining power all the time. And that's only going to get worse. If you kind of do a test here in England when the temp's only like 5-10 degrees, and you know the temps aren't that good here, guaranteed it's going to be better at, it's going to be worse at 14,000 feet and at high altitude and mega thin air. It's going to be 100% worse. So really you've got to, like, you know, fix it here. Don't ignore it, fix it, and then go from there. So we've got some areas to improve with the air temperature on the car, perhaps with some ducting, and yeah, the rest of it, we just got to do some stuff with suspension alignment and other stuff. And that's about it really. And then event-wise, we're on the right track. We've got a freight company now that is going to freight the car over to America for us. Bob Borlow is going to house the car for us in America. Thanks, Bob. And that's all good. So we're kind of on the right track. We've got a deadline of first week in April where we need to send the car. So that is soon going to come around. So we're still going to build a spare engine. We've still got to get suspension parts. We've still got to get a few like drive shafts made, you know, a spare differential and other stuff, because it's such an amount of money to do an event like this. It becomes insignificant if you don't take a decent spares package, you know, and because the car's so bespoke and specially designed, we don't want to get there and just perhaps break a drive shaft or something simple that, you know, we could perhaps get here in England in a couple of weeks or whatever, but that doesn't cut it because we need to get, you know, the car serviced and back out on the hill. So, you know, we need to have a good race day, a fuss-free race day, drive up the hill with full power. I'll be a happy man. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and yeah, see you soon.